So, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to link up your Softools data to a Power BI dashboard. In this example, I'm going to be pulling the information from this report here. So everything from supplier name, requester, category, contact person, contact email, company registration, and website. So to start off, Softools has created a new report type called View, and this is specifically used to reference via API and take data out of Softools. So you're going to want to go to App Studio, then you're going to want to go to this application in App Studio. So Digital Supplier Onboarding is my example, and this is the app I'm in now. You're then going to want to go to Reports. You're going to want to create a View report, which you can do here. Give it a title, so mine's going to be Power BI View. And then you're going to want to add all the fields you want to pull in. This is one I've completed, so I've got, as I said, my category, company registration, email, person, requester, supplier name, website. As you can see, for the select field, I've pulled in the underscore text version. You can pull in either the value or the underscore text, whichever you prefer. But for the purpose of the reporting I want to do in Power BI, I want the underscore text value. Once this is done, you can then save. And then don't forget to publish. So you need to make sure you publish this new report so it can be referenced in the API. New report. Next, you're going to want to go into your site settings. You're going to want to go to site properties, and then you want to go to host names. We're going to use when referencing in an API, we need the original host name of your site. So you want whatever ID is here. For example, you may have additional host names, which you may be using in the URL above. But in this example, we want to make sure for the API you need the original host name. You're also going to need your API key. You can grab this by going to My Profile, go to API key, and then by clicking the little eye icon here. I'm not going to show you mine now, but in the future, if you want to refresh your API key, you can just click here and it will give you a new API key. One thing to remember is for any data you're pulling through on your application, you need to make sure that whatever API key for the user you're using, they have access to the data. So for example, I have access to all 40 records, so using my API key would get you access to all 40 of these records. But say you had someone else in a specific team, say the furniture team here, they only have access to their furniture records. If you use their API key, you're only going to be pulling in their related records that they can see. Next, you're going to want to open up your Power BI desktop application. Once you've opened up the desktop application, you can then start by getting your new data. So go to Get Data in the top left here, select Web. You then want to select Advanced, and then you want to put in the base URL. So for my example, you can grab this by going to the Power BI support article here. So Power BI connection via API support via API web call. Search for this in our support site. Scroll down and then copy this example link here or this one here. We're going to change it either way. So first thing you're going to want to do is add in the ID of your application. Here you can find the app ID at the top. Statement of assurance is my app ID. Take that back. I'm going to put this here where it says risk. And then I want to add in the ID of the report we just made. So I go back to reports, views, and here's my identifier for this new report, this view report that we just made. Copy that, I put that in at the end, and there we go. That's the URL we need. We then want to start adding in the information I told you to grab earlier. So you want to add tenant here, and then you want to add in the site ID. So this is going to, like I said, DIY apps. But for some of you, again, it's always best to go through site settings, site properties, host names, and grab the host name from here. If you can't see any of this information, you're going to need to go to your site admin or your Softools contact and ask them to give you permissions so you can access these areas. Once we have this, we put the tenant in here. Then we want API key here. And then you need to put the API key that I showed you to grab earlier. So don't forget, you go to settings, cog in the top right here. You then go to my profile, API key, unhide it, and copy it here. I'm not going to show you my API key in this example, but once you have this, all you need to do is click OK. Once you click OK, you'll be then met with the data. So as you can see, this is all the data from that report, and these are all the fields that we've brought in. We've now got everything we need. I then need to click close and apply. Open it up again, and it will load up the new Power BI view. Perfect, 40 rows of data added. Those are the 40 records. And now here I can start building out my visuals. So put in a classic column report. Let's take category text as the Y value, and then supply name as the X. So now I can see my data and I can start making out my reports. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, do comment them below or contact support@softools.net. Thank you very much for watching.